If you have already seen parts 1 through 4 of this 6-part series of videos, please fast forward for the new material while I review. The entire series gives evidence that contradicts the claim on the Oxford.com website that there is no connection between the life of Edward de Vere and the works of Shakespeare. These videos take the form of a trial to ascertain who is guilty of the crime of writing the works of Shakespeare. In this investigation, the approach is simple. The plays and poems constitute a crime scene. We must examine the crime scene to help generate profiles of 2 suspects. I'll be using a special procedure, one in which much of the evidence for the Oxfordian case will rely on hostile witnesses, Stratfordian scholars, i.e. those who believe the author is William Shakespeare from Stratford. For those of you wondering why I pronounce the name as Shakespeare, it's because I am using the spelling on his baptism entry. In his personal life, the man from Stratford never spelled his name with an E after the K. This slide shows the 7 categories I will examine, and this video covers Shakespeare's fellow poets. In each category, I use the same approach. What do Stratfordian scholars say about the writer Shakespeare? How does William of Stratford connect to these people and events? And what connections exist between Oxford, that's Edward de Vere, and these people and events? So, fellow poets. Edmund Spenser, connection to Shakespeare. Stratfordian Charles Boyce says, author of works that influenced Shakespeare, Spenser's monumental epic poem The Faerie Queene provided the playwright with the inspiration for many passages, especially in the earlier plays and poems. Shakespeare connection to Edward Spenser? No known connection. Spenser died in 1599, well within the time of Shakespeare's fame as a poet and playwright. They were the 2 great poets of that decade, yet Spenser never mentions William of Stratford and William never mentions Spenser. Edmund Spenser's connection to Oxford. In The Faerie Queene, Spenser dedicates a sonnet to Oxford that stands above the other 16 in its astonishing deferment to Oxford's special relationship to the Heliconian nymphs, the offspring of the 9 Muses, a relationship that would be reserved for someone of Shakespeare's stature. Spenser and Oxford were nearly exact contemporaries. John Lilly, connection to Shakespeare. In the essay in the 2nd volume on Lilly as a playwright, I have endeavoured to show how Shakespeare is indebted to our author not merely for phrases, similes or ideas, but also in the more important matter of dramatic technique. Another Stratfordian goes on to say, Lilly's women, refined, witty, laughing, loving or reserved, are the prototypes of many of Shakespeare's female characters. Shakespeare's first comedy, Love's Labour's Lost, is in direct imitation of Lilly's comedies. John Lilly's connection to Shakespeare? No known connection. Lilly never mentions William, nor does William ever mention Lilly. John Lilly's connection to Oxford? John Lilly was Oxford's secretary. He dedicated Euphues and his England to Oxford. They worked together in producing plays. Anthony Munday, connection to Shakespeare. Stratfordian Samuel Schoenbaum says, on one occasion, however, so the evidence indicates, Shakespeare was called upon to doctor a play written by other hands, for which company is uncertain. That play survives, in damaged and chaotic shape, in a manuscript with the title The Book of Sir Thomas More, in its original form a fair copy by Anthony Munday. Anthony Munday connection to Shakespeare, no known connection. Munday never mentions William, nor does William ever mention Munday. Munday connection to Oxford. Munday worked for Oxford, who was his patron, dedicated several of his works to Oxford, and joined Oxford's acting troupe.